While others talk theory from their studios, I take you into the field to show you real deals, real investors, and real results. This is not classroom real estate. This is the unfiltered, boots on the ground playbook of the pros. Hi guys, my name is Brian Tripp. I live in Birmingham, Alabama, but I travel all across the country to bring you in-person interviews and property walkthroughs of professional real estate entrepreneurs. I'm so glad you're along for the ride, so let's get into today's show. What's up, guys? We are in Spring Hill, Tennessee, which we're about 30 miles south of Nashville.
Yeah.
And with Bill Allen. Bill, thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't do a lot of in-person podcasts with other people, so this is cool.
I've kind of gotten to the point to where I only want to do in-person. I did the Zoom stuff forever. And I want to meet you. I want to actually get to know you a little bit.
This is great. Yeah.
I want to talk about masterminds today, if you're cool with that. Yeah. I want to obviously talk about real estate and maybe how to go from doing real estate transactions and turning that into a real estate business.
Sure.
Really just want to kind of get to know you a little bit. I know a little bit of your background. Navy test pilot.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Are you still in the military?
No, I retired in 2023.
Okay, so but that's recent.
Yeah.
Take me through your military history just real quick, if you don't mind, because I'd love to kind of eventually ask you the question, how does that correlate to today, to what you're doing today?
Yeah. So I went to Georgia Tech as a mechanical engineering bachelor's degree, but I did ROTC there. Mm-hmm. So I got a scholarship. So that was like a free ride to college. Right. So I was also a soccer player there. All I had to do was pay for my room and board. Tuesday, Thursday, wear your uniform, march around, do PT and physical training.
Now, did you want to be military, or did it happen because you wanted the free ride?
No, I had a bunch of free ride soccer scholarships and stuff. I was a pretty big soccer player in high school, heavily recruited D1 player. Wow. And so I wanted to do both. My dad was on submarines. He did 28 years, retired as a captain in 06 in the Navy. And so most of that was in the reserves, but he pushed that pretty heavily on me. And the cool thing about ROTC scholarship is the first year is free. So if you decide after the first year, before you sign your sophomore year, that you don't want to do it, it's free. So my dad the first year I was like, this kind of stinks. I got to get up early. I was in a fraternity too. So I was like, I was partying and having fun in college. And I was like, this is kind of tough. I don't know if I want to do this. And so that first year I was kind of grinding out a little bit. And my dad was like, just give it the year, see if you like it, and then no problem. After that, fine. But my dad was very much like, I'm not paying for your school. You're paying for your school. So if you lose that scholarship, then what are you going to do? I was like, I'll just pick up this full ride soccer scholarship, And then so the summer after my freshman year, I went to San Diego, and you do a week with every branch, every portion of the Navy. So a week with the Marines, a couple days with the SEALs, a week with the aviation community, a week on surface ships, a week on submarines, and with those communities, and they show you the best possible things that are coming down the pipeline that you're going to be doing. And so
to get you pumped up.
Yeah, for sure. And they show you, it's like if somebody brought you into the business and showed you all the cool stuff that they do, and then you actually get the job and it's 80% of the stuff sucks. But yeah, I was looking forward. They were talking about these unmanned submarines that are going to go out to hunt mines and stuff that go out from the sub. And they're talking about let us shoot all the guns that the Marine Corps has. I was shooting this a grenade launcher that's shooting 50 grenades a minute. I was like, this thing, I'm on top of a Humvee. I'm like, this is great. This would be such a cool job. And so loved it. And after that, I was like, all right, sign me up. I'll just stay. And I did. I did 5 years of college, graduated, got commissioned in the Navy as an ensign. At 01, entry-level officer. And then I actually went to the Air Force Institute of Technology in Dayton, Ohio, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And I got a master's degree in aeronautical engineering, and they paid for that. And then I went to flight school. So I went to flight school. I moved 18 times in 20 years. I flew helicopters primarily, the Navy version of the Black Hawk. Mm-hmm. So most people seen Black Hawk now and know that. Flew the SEALs around. We did some really cool stuff, did some combat search and rescue, logistics, search and rescue. Right. I deployed in the Persian Gulf. I was in the Middle East pretty much my entire career. Wow. For deployments. I went and I was a flight instructor down in Pensacola a lot, 4 different times. I loved doing that, a couple different platforms.
Why did you like doing that?
I got my own airplane. They just give you the keys to the airplane. You fly students around. Every weekend I would go on cross country. I'd go somewhere new. I flew a little T-34 from Pensacola out to San Diego for the air show. It was the 100 years of naval aviation, the centennial. And so we were doing all these air shows. I flew 100 hours a month. I flew every day.
Now, is that something that you is that something you just kind of like got into, just like progression of things, or is that something you really like? I hear these stories of like, I watched Top Gun and I wanted to be this. Did you always want to be that guy?
No, I actually never watched Top Gun until I was like in college. Like it wasn't a thing for when I was.
So we're
a
the
kid.
same age, and that was a pretty big movie.
For sure, it was a big movie, but it like wasn't my thing. I wasn't like I was an athlete. I really cared about sports.
Right.
I wasn't really big. I definitely did, like when I went into college, I wanted to be a Navy SEAL. That was a plan. I was carrying logs up the hill. I was working out, running nonstop. And I had a friend, one of my mentors in college, he got his trident, was a SEAL. Right after he got his trident, he fell out of a helicopter and broke his back.
Gosh.
And, that's when I was like, dang, I don't know if this is for me. And my dad the whole time was pushing, like, are you crazy? What are you going to kill people for a living? That's what you're going to do? What are you going to do after you get out of the military? Like, worst job in the Navy, man. What are you even thinking?
Being a SEAL.
Yeah. And I was like, it's cool. Like, I want to do it. I was very much like, I want to work out. I want to, there was a big draw to that of like doing something really hard. And after my friend fell out of a helicopter, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to start looking at some other options. And that's when I went. I mean, I did one summer. So every summer we do these things every year, right? So one summer I was with the aviation squadron up in Whidbey Island, Washington. And these guys, the year before that, I was on a submarine. I was on a submarine in Hawaii. Well, I mean, my dad was on. My dad was like, he loved it. Like, he's like, we have amazing food. We get paid extra money. Like, to do all this stuff. And so I was on a submarine, and it was kind of interesting. But like, those guys worked so hard. Like, those young officers were working on their warfare pin, right? It's called a dolphin. And so So when you look at a military officer in uniform or anybody in uniform, they have these big gold pins, right? And so we have wings. The aviators have wings. The submariners have dolphins. So they're working on getting their dolphins while they're training young enlisted guys. They have to actually do the job. And so it was interesting. They were working nonstop. They were on watch for 12 hours working, and then they would get off, and then they'd have to study for their exams and boards and stuff. And I was like, dang, these guys they work hard. And but I mean, I was in Hawaii for 3 weeks, underwater for 3 weeks. It was okay. But then the next year, I went to Whidbey Island, Washington. I was with this Prowler squadron, EA-6B Prowlers. And these dudes like played golf all day, drank beer, and flew airplanes. And I was like, you know what? This is a lot better than what I saw the year before. The other cool part is, the aviators, you go to flight school, you don't have any other job than to earn your wings. So you're not officer that's leading a bunch of enlisted guys. All you're doing is focusing on your, getting your wings. And then once you get your wings, you go to the squadron, and that's like 2.5, 3 years later. Then okay, now you actually have to lead enlisted guys or junior officers and things like that. So it just appealed, like, obviously just at that time I was like young, wanted to have fun, and it was really cool. Like, flying all this different stuff was really cool. I've flown probably 60 different helicopters and airplanes for the Navy now. So we're going to test pilot school, gave me the opportunity to fly like lots of different stuff.
When did that become like almost like addictive, like this is fun, like this is something I really love doing?
Yeah, I would say as a student it kind of sucked. Like, it was interesting, but you're so focused on getting grades and being evaluated all the time. And honestly, like I've been every flight I get evaluated on pretty much, regardless of where you're at. There's probably only about 6 months of my entire career that somebody wasn't giving me a grade sheet at the end.
And that's just a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I think so. It depends. I mean, everybody takes pressure a little different. For me, like, I just want to win. Like, my whole life, I just wanted to win and stuff. So I put a lot of pressure on myself. When I look at it, it's like I had a really good friend. His name was Nick Zimmerman. And Zim is like loved flying. And so when I was in the fleet, I probably met him 5 years into my military career. And then me and him, we deployed together, spent a lot of time together, like really, really good friends. And he kind of put the love of aviation into me. He's like, oh, I want an airplane one day. I want this. And I was like, what are you even talking about, man? Like, I'm just doing my job. And then he's like, we can do all this flying, and it's really cool. And then he went to be a flight instructor down in Pensacola, and he pulled me that way too. And so, we spent a lot of time flying together, probably 6-7 years. He did an Air Force transition from the Navy and went and flew U-2s, like the spy plane, really cool stuff. So T-38s, U-2s, that's what they fly primarily. And just me and him talking for a long period of time has been really cool. He's a airline pilot now. And I mean, that's his whole life was aviation. And so he kind of instilled that in me. Right. And then when I went down to Pensacola and got the keys to that trainer plane, and I was just like, I was hooked. And since then, I would rather fly than do any other job. Like we have ground jobs, right? You have to like write the schedule, or you're an operations officer or training officer, and that kind of stuff is like, just give me the keys to the airplane. Right. I just want to fly. So that's kind of, 5 years into the career, I kind of found my love for it. And it's just so freeing. Like even now having my own airplane, I've had my own airplane for about 7 years now, 2 different airplanes. One was like a smaller one in the beginning, and then a bigger, nicer one now. And I mean, I can just get in and go anywhere I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want, really. So
it's like freedom. When I first got my driver's license.
Yeah.
It's like the most freeing feeling in the whole world. I feel like it's different now, but we're the same age. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you ever felt that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Get a motorcycle.
I mean, I remember when I never had a motorcycle.
Well, I'm just trying to think of my life.
I would kill myself.
The most freeing moments of my life, being on a roller coaster.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, it is a giant roller coaster. It's just like, it's a time machine. Like I can get in and go wherever. Like one of my favorite trips is when me and my family go to the beach in Maryland. It's called Ocean City. I grew up there. And so if we want to go to Ocean City from here without an airplane, we go to Nashville, we fly to BWI. And then for BWI, we drive 2.5 hours to get to the beach.
Is it that far?
Yeah. And horrible traffic. Yeah. So it could be 4 hours.
We were just in BWI, me and my kids, 4 days ago.
Yeah. Get in the car and drive east for about 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours or so with minimal traffic.
Yeah.
And then you're there. Or we can get in my plane, bring whatever we want, like all of our food from our farm and everything that we have, and then fly to Ocean City Airport, get in the rental car that they pull up to the plane. We put the stuff in there. We get in the rental car. We stop by Food Lion on the way to the condo that we rent. And then we're there in about 8 minutes. So, I mean, it's totally life-changing. I mean, I can do my Saturday farmer's market and still be there before the sun goes down, and then, come home whenever I want. We want to come home a day early, want to stay a day later, it's fine. So, yeah.
It's hard for me to hear the word or the phrase Navy SEAL and not think of David Goggins, just because he made it so mainstream over the past, 8 years. And you talked about when you went there, you were in Coronado for a couple of days, and you saw it. You get to see, I guess, the best of the best part of it. And for a minute, that's what you wanted to do, it sounds like.
Yeah, a few years. Yeah.
What is the allure, even to someone like me, who I've got tons of family who's been in military? I never was. But even for somebody like me, where I read that book and I've kind of follow along with people who are SEALs, like even Jocko or any of them. Yeah. And what is that allure that I feel, that draw, or maybe that draw that you felt when you were there initially? Like, what is it about being a SEAL that's so attractive?
Oh, I think it's just, it's elite. That's probably the word that I put to it. Just look at the warfare pin. The warfare pin, any other warfare pin is about like this big. The trident is like 3 times the size, and so wearing that on your chest, when you see that, it's a statement, right? And so I think it's just, doing hard stuff. It was something I was interested in, is just going through Hell Week, doing, the whole training pipeline. Majority of people wash out of that program. How do you just win? Like, it's just kind of like that.
But what is that though?
It's an elite thing.
I want to talk about that, like that. Yeah, sure. Because I feel like that translates to everything we're doing. Yeah, right.
For sure.
What is that a you thing? Is that a me thing? Is it a small percentage of people thing? Can you learn it? Is it just in you? Like, where does that desire to win and be elite for you, where does that come from?
Oh, I think it's inside of you. Yeah, I definitely think. So there's plenty of people that are like cool being passive or sitting back and not leading or stepping up and stuff like that, which is totally fine. Like, we need all that, right? I don't think I'm like any better than anybody. I think that somebody who is going to work with me is just as important as me, right? But I went through like really deep work on personality and identity and stuff like that, right? And essence of who we are, like who God made us to be. And, I remember I called my parents because I was like, what did you do to me when I was a kid? Like, what did you put in me that made me have to be number one? Like, the problem that I have, like, I know that I have this problem. Like, I cannot lose. Like, it just drives me insane. Like, I just want to win. You put me in a room, it doesn't matter. I'm going to try to figure out how to be the top dog in any room that I go in.
Now, does that even apply to your children when you're playing like a board game?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like my kids will not win against me. Like, I don't let them win. Like, why would I let them win? Like, all I'm doing is setting them up for failure in the future.
That's how I feel.
Now there are some times I mean I can think of a few Candyland games with my son when he was like 4 or 5.
Candyland, that's a luck game.
But I would like stack the deck a little bit because because what I noticed.
Whoa, now that's next level.
Yeah, I mean I would, but I not stack the deck for me to win. Stack the deck for allowing him to win. And so there's some times where I will strategically, intentionally, because he was getting so angry and frustrated that by chance he was losing. Like I noticed in my oldest that he's having the same problem of like he gets really angry when he loses. And so, I mean, I can beat him at most things, right? So there's times where I have to throw the game a little bit intentionally to kind of throw him a little biscuit. But he has to understand that like I got to also teach him that losing is, you got to figure out how to lose. Like to not be that horrible. Like, come on, dude, you're 6 years old and you're like freaking out if you're losing a game of Candyland. So, but I definitely am not like, I don't shy away from them like learning hard lessons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in everything for sure. Even last night we went out on, so my wife's sister's here. My wife's from England. I met her there when I was in test pilot school in England. And then her sister's husband. So I actually call him my brother-in-law, but it's like her brother-in-law since my marriage.
Oh yeah.
So we went out last night and dude, he like beat me at bowling. We had this little tiny little pin bowling. It's like luck game. It's driving me insane that I'm losing. Then he beat me at this like little like ring toss thing that is, it's like bar games, you know? Right. And then skee ball, like the skee balls were like so light, I can destroy anybody in like standard weight skee ball. Like I have a specific.
You're making excuses
for sure. It was totally rigged. Like I'm losing at all these things, and I'm like, I don't know that I had a great time last night.
Right.
Like I won't carry it along with me much longer than this conversation. I actually won't play games that I don't think that I can win. So I've noticed this in life also. Yeah. Like I won't take a job that I don't think I'll do a good job at. Sure. I won't take a client. I won't bring on people that I don't think I can help. I'd rather be successful than have more money or more things. So I called my parents, like, what did you do to me? They were like, what are you talking about? When you were like 7 years old, we were putting away your clothes and you were like, stop doing it. You're doing it wrong. And you would start doing it yourself. They're like, that was inside of you. Like we didn't put it in there. My brother is cool, like not being the top dog. I don't know if he's really cool with it, but he kind of took the back seat sometimes, more mellow. Yeah. And I'm like, no. Like
he's older or younger?
Younger. He's younger than me. And there is some like birth order stuff, but I don't know if it's all that either. Like I can see my youngest of 3, he's really like hardcore, want to win too. So.
Well, so let me ask you, so I'm kind of speaking more for me, but was there a point in your life, maybe when you're younger, 20s, teens, 20s, even 30s, where that was a problem and you had to like learn that it was a problem and learn how to kind of manage it? And I'm only asking that because that kind of was me for a long time, because I'm the same way. I'm super, super competitive about everything. And I'd probably beat you at all those little bar games.
Bar games aren't my thing. I'm not going to play those anymore. I like how you slipped that in there, though. I don't really think that I've ever gotten to a place where I feel like it was a massive problem and I had to do something different. I think it took me a long time to realize this. I think I only realized it when I took like a deep dive in who I am and personality profiling and stuff like that, and trying to figure out why. I do have to figure out, like, when I'm around people, how to like tone it down a little bit, or how to just be like, I don't think I should play.
But you're aware. You have that awareness.
Yeah, I'd say the area is like in my 40s playing soccer. I still play soccer, and I play soccer with like 20-year-old kids.
Yeah.
These like Mexican guys here locally, and I get hurt. Like I will pull my hamstring or my groin, and it's not good. Like, so sometimes I just have to decide whether I'm actually, because I accept and know myself and how much effort I'm going to put into this thing to win. Yeah. And so sometimes I just have to like skip it. Yeah. So, and I probably get a little smarter as I get older, but
for sure.
But I think in business, like I brought that to business too. And it's, I think it's a good thing. Sometimes though in business, like if you want to win and have to win, like you might make some poor decisions and go deeper down an area where you should maybe quit or stop something. And do something a little different. So it might be a little challenging. So I've seen that in the past where I've probably stayed in something too long, knowing that, or thinking that like my expertise, skill, my brain could get me out of it. And I was like blinded by some of that maybe. But success repeats itself, so I think winners win. And so I've had some of this. Obviously, it's been a challenging time in real estate over the past few years, I would say. A little less deals, margins are thinner, things happen, the market's not bailing us out, interest rates, all the things that people are talking about. And I've got some people inside my mastermind group who are like, they're struggling, and they're struggling in silence a little bit. So I talked to them this week about it, made a quick video, and I got some people that came out and said, you know what, I've been winning for a long time and I feel like I'm not. And I was like, look, you won before, you're going to win again. It's just a time now. It's a time in the market, and you're a winner for sure. So winners win. And there are times where they lose, but on average, you're going to win like 90 to 95% of the time. Like that's a pretty good odds. You just got to keep playing or getting more. And so that's a challenge sometimes. We start doubting ourselves instead of remembering that we're winners. I don't know that there's a specific time for me that I'm like, I have to, like, this has been a negative thing. So I just think it is. Like, if this is your mindset, fine. If it's not, fine. Just be yourself and accept it and be okay with it.
Is it harder to coach or bring along people who don't have that kind of winning mentality? They know that they probably can, but there's obviously a difference in personalities.
Yeah,
and you're coaching a wide range, and I have too, wide range of personalities. Yeah. How do you bring along the ones that aren't just like born to crush it?
Yeah, I think that's pretty easy. For me, it's like, look, my definition of success is very different than yours. So if you can just define it and build your goal, like what is your freedom? We call it like your freedom plan. Like what does freedom mean to you? And so if you put that, I actually got this like freedom award back here that we give out. And like, you define freedom. You tell me when you get that award. Like, I don't tell you what that award is.
Wow.
We have the $1 Million award. I tell you that's $1 million in a year. Right, but this one up here, you tell me when you have that. When do you have time freedom? When do you have financial freedom? And when do you have impact freedom? One of them. And you should make me a video. Tell me when you have it and I'll give it to you. You convince me that you're free and I'll give you that award. And so I think for me, I've had to realize that everybody's different. The cool thing is, very early on in like my coaching business, there were people that should not have been successful that were massively successful, like introverts. Like, we had this couple that met on the internet from like 2 different countries in a video game and got married.
Right.
And so like really introverted people. And I'm like, I don't know how they're going to succeed in this real estate business. Yeah. And they built a multi-million-dollar business. Right. And then you got the person who on paper looks like they should absolutely just crush it, and they crash and burn.
Right.
So it's like, I can't pick the winner. So I'm not going to play God and try to pick who's going to be successful and who's not. I just give everybody the opportunity, let everybody in that has the right character. They have to have the right character and values to get into our community, but I don't care what you look like, what your background was, any of those things. And then you define your success. You define freedom. That was an early realization for me versus fit in the bucket. You have to do 7 figures a year. You got to do 150 deals plus, like that kind of stuff. We got people that do 10 or 12 deals a year, but like huge net margins and use all their own money, which I don't believe in. I'm like, why are you using your money, man? Put your money somewhere else. But it makes them feel comfortable. And then we got people who, are like me, raise a bunch of capital, leverage, and might do hundreds of deals, So I try not to get in the way of other people's plan and like try to design it myself. So it doesn't really affect me that much. I don't think it's a big deal. I feel like I can pretty much coach anyone, but the key is to like pull out their design. Like what do you want? What's in it? What's success look like for you?
For sure.
And very specifically design that versus say, oh, I want to do what you did. It's like, okay, well, why do you want to do that? Like, are you sure? Because that road's different than this road. Like, all these roads will take you to success probably, just you got to define it.
Why is having a freedom award, why was that important? Was that already, I know you took over the business. Was that already in place, or is that something?
No, something we did.
Why was that important for you to?
Because of what we're talking about. So a lot of people were like burning down business. Like they were going for $1 million every year. So when Justin owned the company, before me, I bought it from a guy named Justin Williams. He was very big on like doing more deals, like hundreds of deals. Like that was the talk track, and that was and so what I saw, I was a member of that community. In 2015, I joined 7 Figure Flipping. I was like one of the first members. And so what I saw a lot of people like just like over leverage. They might do $1 million of gross profit, but 0 net, and saw them like just overspend, like, and just not make a lot of money, and they have like or just have a massively like not even a high paying job, like a low paying job.
Right. Doing a ton of work, doing a ton of deals, but not
making 50,000 or not even being able to pull any money out of their business because it's all in inventory. Right. And so I was like, that's not success. Like, that's not a win. Right. Mm-hmm. So we had all these people in 2019. We had this $1 million award that I came up with. Right. And then in 2020, I was like, wait a second, like, we gave away a bunch of these, but we have these other people who have, like Todd Jones, a guy named Todd Jones. Great. He's a guy that comes to mind. He probably does a couple $1 million now. But at that time, he was doing 5 or 6 deals that would make like $100,000 each. He's doing $500,000 or $600,000 a year, has no staff, and he keeps it all. And so I was like, he's actually in better shape than the people I'm giving this award to, but he doesn't get an award because he didn't hit this number. Right. So am I forcing people to hit this number? So then that's when we came up with, I was like, I need to have a different award. And for the people that are giving back, money and time in charity, or they found they're actually totally free and they want to have a lifestyle business, what award do they have? Because that's actually more important to me than $1 million. Yeah. So just because you run a big multi-million-dollar business doesn't mean that you're happy you're free. Right. So it could be worse.
So 7-figure flipping. Yeah. You took this over in what year did you say?
July 2019. Yeah.
2019. And is this, how would you characterize 7-figure flipping? Is it a mastermind?
Yeah, mastermind coaching program. I 7-figure flipping is like the company, right? So we have lots of different programs inside of there. So I really feel like it's like a community of people that have similar values and character. Like, that's the most important for me is to have the right people in the community. And then wherever they're at along their journey, we can help them, whether they're brand new or they're doing, hundreds of deals a year. So we have like, I look at it as like, entry level people need more coaching. Higher level people need a mastermind. So we have like coaching to mastermind. And then like products and things like that, little things.
Why is it successful?
Because we care about the people. I feel like our product is really good. The hard part is we built best in class, but we're not the best known. So, and best known always beats best. So that's the challenging part for me. It's like to become more well known. So being best known. But
what makes you say, why do you think it's not as well known?
Because it's not. I mean, there's 30,000 house flippers out there. We have like 300.
Okay.
So, and I think in a certain circle it's known, but like it's not known like Keller Williams is known, or like EXP Realty. Like, I mean, everybody who's in real estate doesn't even know. I'd say we're like a fraction of the people that are actively in real estate even know who we are. And so, until we're a household name, we're not best known.
Okay, you say that, and you first said you're not very well known, and then you immediately you didn't stay inside of real estate investing. You immediately jumped outside of real estate investing into real estate in general, which I think is really interesting. And probably really smart.
Sure.
To say that we're not a Keller Williams. Because I think you are well known within the real estate investing community.
I still don't think that's true. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know that's not true. Like, if you think about it, there are millions of people on the planet that watch TV shows and want to get into real estate, don't know where to start. Okay. Even in my local community, I have a farmer's market here. They come up to me every day. People are like, how do I get started in real estate? I saw you were in real estate. How do I get started? Like, these people there's millions and millions of, just inside the US, people that want to get started, don't know where to start. Okay. And you know what they're finding is they're finding crappy programs. They're finding crappy programs.
Well, they're finding YouTube, I think, first.
Maybe, but probably what they're finding is the person who's doing a seminar in their local area that's using a celebrity for the face of it, but they never show up. So, maybe. And or a franchise model or something that I don't know that I necessarily believe in, because I think that they can do it even if it's one deal. So anyway, I think that we have an amazing program inside. Right, I spent my entire life, my business life, building the best fulfillment on the planet, like really caring about people. Why are we successful? Because I think we actually care that they do deals, I mean, I'd say 70 to 80% of the people inside of our community do deals. Mm. They come in, if they've never done a deal before, they're coming in, and there's people who will quit after 2 or 3 months, and they're like, this isn't for me, or they quit on themselves, Yeah. We show up every day. And I think we really care about the result of the folks. And then next step is becoming more well-known. Like, I don't have millions of followers on social media. We don't run $1 million of ads a month. We don't get in front of.
Are these the next steps?
Yeah, for sure. So I'd say I think our next big step is the TV show that we built. It comes out soon. I think I hope that puts us on the big picture map. I think we're doing some really cool things there, and I think our community is great. I'd love to support more people. Because honestly, the coaching industry and mastermind groups and these things, like, it is really crowded, especially right now. Like when I bought the company in 2019, there were probably like 2 other decent sized masterminds that you could say competitors, but I think we do very different things. And now, I mean, you look around, everybody's a coach, they're everywhere. And there's big communities that are all kind of, there's people moving around those or finding those things. And so there's a lot of options where there were less options before. So what that does is it starts saying, okay, we're still competing. Honestly, we're competing for less market share. So there's less market share now than there was in 2019 because I think the market has spit some of these investors out. And so when you look at like more product, potentially less inventory, now it's an interesting concept to figure out how do you run that kind of business. And so we're definitely adapting our business, which is, it's not making the money that it was making before profit wise. And so we're having to figure out.
When you say before, you're talking about before?
And I'd say before I bought the company, it was pretty easy to make money in the coaching industry in 2019. We rebranded, we relaunched. I turned off $70,000 a month in Facebook ads at that time. I stopped marketing. I only did the podcast, and I did my annual conference. There was about $1 million of profit in the business.
And you decided to do that. Why?
Because that was the success. That was a clear path to success for me.
Well, almost like take a step backwards, you mean?
No,
like turn off the Facebook ads and
yeah, but I mean, the Facebook ads were not really profitable. It was just the way that I thought Justin thought he should be growing the business was running ads, and I could immediately put $70,000 to the bottom line. I didn't think it was needed right then. We weren't paying attention to our organic traffic, podcast, email list, nurturing, to just being like being real people. The Facebook ads will bring in. If you got a big sales team and you're running Facebook ads, you're going to bring in you're not going to be able to control the values and character of your group. You're going to bring in anyone, and that's the challenge that we had before. And
that's important. That's a really good.
Yeah, I had to ask people to leave. I didn't renew contracts. There were things like that was happening. I fired all the whole sales team except for one guy. Kept one guy, and he's still with me today. And so we just had to change the way that we attract. So I think this business, like info marketing business and coaching business, is you have like customer attraction, right? And then you have customer retention, and then you have ascension. Is like 3 things in a info or coaching business. How do I attract the right people that have the same value and character as we do, that want the same the outcome that we can provide for them, right? So how do we attract the right people? How do we retain the right people? So how do we get them? It's so good that they're successful, so they stay, right? And they don't look at this as a commodity or something they're going to turn off the second it gets hard. It's like, oh, the $1,500 a month payment or the $2,000 a month payment has to first thing to go. And then how do we ascend them? Meaning they're having so much success that they want the next level of support. Yeah. And so those 3 things are like all we focus on inside the company. That's it. And so at that time, the customer attraction, the attraction of the right people, it wasn't the right fit for what I wanted to do. And so I had to make a change. Yeah. So.
And I want to dig deeper into
Sure, yeah. I'll talk about
it here in a second. I've heard your story. I heard, you were already a part of the mastermind. You were already part of Justin's group, and you were coaching in the group. And then it just kind of maybe a natural progression of things you wanted to kind of. Why did you initially want to coach and teach? You had a successful real estate business. Did that come from having such a great experience with the flight school type of thing? You're a teacher then, or like what?
Maybe.
It seems. I guess what I'm asking is, it seems like every successful real estate practitioner, whether they're wholesaling or rehabbing, they seem to always end up being a coach or a teacher. Well, why do you think that is? And then maybe you can't speak for everybody, but maybe speak just maybe for yourself.
Yeah, I think it's. For me, inside the program, I was coaching for free, like you said. Like I wasn't a paid coach. I was having success. I was giving back. Justin called me one day and he was like, hey, you're doing this for free already. Why don't we make it official and have you come and be a coach? And then I got to a point inside of 7-figure flipping where we were eating like pizza at the beach. People were paying $25,000 and we're eating like pizzas are showing up from like Domino's or like sandwiches or something like that. I'm like, dude, we could have a better experience. And so I wanted to do something. I called Justin. I was like, look, man, I'm either going to go do my own thing and start my own thing. And I want to do this, or I want to, make this better. And he's like, all right, well, just go run the membership department. He's like, actually, why don't you just come be the COO? I was like, well, how about I just start with the membership? He's like, that's fine, but I'll just call you the COO. And I was like, all right, fine, whatever, man. But so I just came in and I wanted to change the member experience inside there. And so it changed the member experience. We started doing like really awesome events and like just things that were just, we could up level the fulfillment of what we were doing for customer retention effectively. You think about retention.
Yeah, for sure.
But I love helping other people. Like I don't even care if you pay me or not. Like I was at the point where it's like, I learned all this stuff. So I don't know how familiar you are with the hero's journey. So the hero's journey is like a big cycle, right? So you have this call to adventure. So there's the ordinary world and a supernatural world. So you live in the ordinary world, but then you get this call to adventure, which is like tap on the shoulder from God, or I believe it's God, and you can, whatever you believe for everyone watching, but you have to tap on the shoulder.
I believe it's God.
Well, I mean, we can, but yeah, and I do too. And so, so we have this call to adventure, right? This tap on the shoulder, like this exciting new thing, and then you find you find this mentor that like pulls you down in the supernatural world, or somebody. You might not think it's a mentor, but it's somebody who's like guiding you along the way, right? You get in the supernatural world, trials, tribulations, all these things happen, and then you're killing off your old identity, the old you, all this stuff. You just kill off the old you, and then you come back. They say you return with the elixir. So and it's a way longer conversation to go through the whole hero's journey the right way, but the hero goes into the supernatural world. They find this thing, they solve this problem, they go through all these trials, tribulations, they come out with success, right? And then what they do is, in every story, they return with the elixir. And what that is like you're returning to the ordinary world with this thing that you figured out, and you want to share it with other people. And then naturally you're going to have this, then a lot of times the new journey is, okay, now this call to adventure is, how do I share this thing with these people to help them and bring them into the supernatural world? Because we're like, it's so cool in here, right? And so that's what you feel when you like go to an event. You like leave home, you go to an event, and all the people around you are like the same as you. You're like, oh my gosh, like everybody in my ordinary world is telling me not to go do this thing, but all these people are telling me I'm not doing enough of this thing. And so that's when you meet your people. You have your mastermind people, right?
Let me ask you something. Who's in your corner? One of the biggest breakthroughs in my real estate journey came when I stopped trying to figure it all out on my own, and I started surrounding myself with high-level investors who are actually doing deals and building real businesses. That's why I created Board of Advisors, a curated mastermind for real estate entrepreneurs who are serious about growth. We're talking real conversations about cash flow, hiring, deal flow, burnout, and strategy, the stuff that actually moves the needle. We're meeting October 6th and 7th in Birmingham, Alabama. And if you've been feeling stuck or isolated, or like your business could grow faster with the right people around you, then I want you to go to boamastermind.com and enter that promo code podcast. That way you get a deep discount, and that way you can join us. And when I say deep discount, I really mean it. I'm literally only covering my costs to host the event. So go ahead and go to boamastermind.com, enter that promo code podcast, and join us here in Birmingham. And I just want to be clear here, this isn't one of those flashy masterminds full of influencers trying to build their followings. This room is built for operators, real estate investors who want to scale their business, not their social media presence. Go to boamastermind.com, enter the promo code podcast, and meet me in Birmingham on October 6th and 7th.
So if you think of that, that's kind of like the framework of if you watch any movie, read any story, or actually see your real life. Like maybe you went through like something really hard, like a divorce, or somebody committed suicide in your family or something like, or, your parents were alcoholics and beat you, and you're coming back from this, and you want to help other people not go through the same thing that you did, and you figured it out. So like any pastor, any coach, any trainer, anybody, they have some wound that they went through. They killed off their old identity. They found this new identity, and they want to share it with some other people. So that's like inherent in all of us, I think, in everyone wanting to help. I believe good people. And then the second piece is when you think about it, and I don't know how familiar you are with Tony Robbins' 6 human needs that he trains on and teaches, but you have this like these human needs, these 4 needs of the flesh, right? Of the man, you have those 4 needs, which are certainty, uncertainty, or variety, significance, and love and connection. And then once you find all those, then the supernatural needs, the 2 needs of the spirit, is growth and contribution. So the thing is, I feel like when anybody finds they have those 4 needs met, Maslow's hierarchy is another kind of conceptual idea that's like this. But you have these 4 needs met, then you go to growth and contribution. Like the next level of success, once you've figured it out, everything's taken care of, you're good, is growth and contribution. Like everyone will go to that place of growth and contribution. So like that's why these people that are investors that have success go say, I want to show other people how to do this because I've had success. I'm taken care of. Like, I don't need anything. Let me go help these other people do that. And sure, people charge for it. You pay them, whatever that looks like. Some people will do it for free or whatever, but there's some outcome that they're getting from this, and they live there now. Like I live almost my entire life in growth and contribution, I feel like.
Now, is that outcome for you, that outcome for me has always just been, it's a personal gratification I have. It's just like, I really get personally gratified. Like that is like it for me.
So I'd say the biggest challenge that I've ever been tested with in this is I went to one of Tony's events, and the problem that I was trying to figure out was like, is this significance for me, which is problematic, or is this really growth and contribution for me? So that's what I had to wrestle with.
Like wrestling with, is this thing, like when you say significance, like you're getting your significance from it?
Yeah. Is it about me just wanting to be more well-known and famous? For ego. Or is it the fact that if that happens, then I can actually grow more and contribute more to society? And so fortunately, a friend, mentor, coach of mine, Mike Simmons, was there. We were in the same first 7-figure flipping class together. We've done life together for 10 years now. He's amazing. He's shepherded me through many hard times also. He was there with me. My wife decided not to go last minute. So I said, call Mike. I'm like, Mike, come down to Tennessee. We'll fly down to West Palm to Tony's event and come with me. I have an extra ticket. He's like, I'm in. So if you've ever been to a Tony event, it's like really emotional. It's late night, and I got this. I'm wrestling with this, and he's like, dude, I've known you for this was a couple years ago. He's like 6-7 years now, and he's like, at no point have I ever seen you want significance for you. Like it is 100% growth and contribution for you. And he's like, the fact that you want to be more known, it's not about fame and fortune. It's about giving back. And so I needed that. And I think that's true. So my answer to you is like, that's where I live, is growth and contribution. And so because of that, I just want to give back more and more and more. So obviously more people that come into our community, the more people that we can help, the more people that can go out and do good, because there's plenty of horrible, crappy house flippers, there's plenty of horrible wholesalers. There's horrible realtors, horrible contractors. There's all those folks.
What's a horrible wholesaler?
Horrible wholesaler is somebody who is going to lock up your grandmother's house, sit on it for 30 days. They're going to move all their stuff out, and they're going to cancel the contract at the last minute.
Okay. I was going a different direction in my mind.
No,
I'm with you.
Ethical.
Yeah.
Not good. Not an ethical.
I thought you meant horrible, like they've spent all this money on marketing and couldn't get a deal done.
No, I mean they're just they're
horrible,
unethical people. You've seen it.
For sure. No doubt.
There's 5 or 10% of every contractor, realtor, flipper, wholesaler that is the best, good, and then the rest are just kind of I'm just in it for the money. And so, you think it's a bigger percentage?
I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. I think everybody's in it for the money, especially initially. If you have an active real estate business, Surely you're in it for the money.
Okay, so let's say you have a moral dilemma of making $50,000 or doing the right thing.
Okay.
That's the difference. Do you choose the right thing or do you choose to make $50,000?
So, well, you would need to define moral dilemma too, because I mean, I literally just had this conversation a couple of days ago where someone who just decided, and I know a few people like this, I'm sure you do too, I'm not wholesaling anymore because I believe wholesaling is immoral.
I think that's ridiculous.
That's what I was saying. We need to define what the moral dilemma is.
Well, I
stealing. Again, this is. I don't agree with it, but I'm saying some people think wholesaling is stealing people's equity in a lot of cases, not every case.
Do they think that that's the case for a farmer? Because the farmer produces the produce. There's somebody that goes to the farmer that buys the produce from the farmer and sells it to the grocery store.
Well,
in every industry, there is a middleman that is involved to create inventory.
Right, but what's different about the farmer and then about the wholesale? And I'm not even defending this. I don't even believe this.
It's okay. I think this is a great conversation. I'd like to talk to all these people.
I love your competitiveness here. No, it's great. The difference is the person who has a house and they want to sell it. Yeah, presumably there is going to be a middleman. There's going to be a realtor probably in a lot of scenarios at the very least. There is some for sale by owner situations. I don't need a distributor necessarily if I have a house.
Yes, you do. You 100% need one.
Why couldn't I just put a sign in the yard?
You can. But then you're going to spend the next 30 days taking phone calls from all kinds of people.
Right.
You don't have the time to do that. You don't want to do that. You would hate your life.
Perhaps.
But if you were willing to put a sign in the yard, do you think everybody doesn't know that they can put a sign in the yard? Does everybody not know that they could sell their house with a real estate agent? They all do.
Right.
No wholesaler walks in and goes, real estate agents don't exist. Right. You can't put a sign in your yard. You should not don't put a sign in your yard. Are you crazy? What are you, an idiot? You put a sign in your yard? Like, they're walking into the wholesaler's pawn shop.
Agree.
They know that they're not going to get as much money.
Totally agree. Well,
they know. It is a fact. Like, everyone knows.
Yep.
All they're doing, they're trading equity.
I agree.
They're not stripping equity or being robbed of their equity.
I guess
they are intentional. Now what we're talking about here, the moral dilemma becomes the horrible people that are out there don't make it, they make it seem like you can't do this. They make it seem like you shouldn't do this. They convince you not to do something. They're not saying, hey, how can I help?
Yeah.
And that's the difference. That's there's 10%. So when I met Andy McFarland, who I would argue is probably the nation's best wholesaler, the most ethical person and genuinely amazing human being I've ever met in my entire life, who is doing like 300 deals a year, $4 million wholesaling. And the guy is probably, I don't know, just when Andy walks there, I don't know, it's unbelievable, his level of ethics and morality. And when I talk to him, it's like that. When I met him, I was like, you know what? Like, there is a need. The wholesalers are needed in the industry. They produce the inventory, some inventory, right? Realtors produce they have 98% of the market share.
If it weren't for people contacting folks that don't even know their house is for sale, that inventory wouldn't even exist. Like, that's what wholesaling, there's a lot of the marketing, the direct to seller marketing, is these people don't even know their house is for sale. In a lot of cases where I'm at in Birmingham, they don't even know that they can sell. They just let the house go in a lot of cases.
They want it gone.
Yeah.
And so,
it's a burden.
But a realtor,
in a lot of cases.
I've probably done 800 or 900 wholesale deals, right, in my career. At this point. The only time that I ever feel like we did something wrong and somebody got ripped off, it was when the granddaughters of the owner forged a power of attorney to sell their grandmother's house out from under her illegally as a felony to us. And the grandmother had no idea. Every other time, the seller is crying at the closing table thanking us for doing what we're doing. Like, the way I look at this, wholesaling in general, it is literally a pawn shop. Like, I run a pawn shop. Like, it's not like I'm just asking you if you want to come talk to me in my pawn shop. Like, when you walk in there, it's like the people that walk in with their grandmother's diamond ring in a pawn shop. You don't think they know that they can sell it on Facebook Marketplace for more money? Or they could go to a jeweler and get more money for it? Possibly, but they might have to sell it on consignment and wait. They want the money now, like today. And so I bought a house yesterday. And the guy who sent me the lead, so here's how it went down. The guy has a house in Pensacola, right? His nephew, it's his uncle, this nephew is a realtor in Tennessee. He moved to Tennessee. There's nobody in this house. He had this house listed for like a year. It didn't sell. He sends me a message and he says, hey, my uncle needs to sell his house in Pensacola. Are you looking for a flip? And I ran the numbers. I was like, dude, I can't buy this house. I have to buy this house. He wants 135 grand. I had to buy this house for 95 grand to flip it. Maybe 90. Like, I can't give you that. And he's like, okay, well, he's got an assumable VA loan on it with 2.375% interest. I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe we can do something. I don't know. And he's a realtor. Like, his nephew is a realtor. And he's like, a wholesaler had it locked up for 30 days and did nothing with it. Couldn't sell it. So a wholesaler put it under contract, sat on it for 30 days, couldn't sell it, and backed out, right? And so he tells me all this, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty typical. I was like, why didn't you call me first? You know I'm in the area. And I could have told you that I can't buy it for 135 grand. Like, no wholesaler can buy it for that. No flipper, no landlord, nobody. But I have an owner finance exit strategy that I can do. And so if I can have the mortgage for, 2%, 2.375%, and then all I got to do is bring $30,000 cash to the table, I could probably sell it on owner financing for somebody. And so, like, I know how to do that deal, right? But the wholesaler, that's a horrible wholesaler. Lock it up for 30 days, cancel it, like, knowing all good and well their numbers are crap. Like, I could have told them in 5 seconds.
Maybe there's just a horrible wholesaler, not ethically more horrible, but just they're just a bad wholesaler.
Don't have the right training. Don't have the right training. Don't have the right people to ask. Think that this is a deal because it's $30,000 below fixed up value.
Exactly.
Actually, 60. It's probably worth 195. But like overall, that guy knows that he can list it on the MLS. Like, he tell his uncle that, hey, you can list this on the MLS.
You realize you're not arguing with me, right?
I know. I'm arguing with you. I'm definitely not arguing with you. But the overall idea it hits me so hard because I hear it all the time. Like, I hear it from 95% of the transactions that are done on the MLS or done in real estate are maybe 98% are realtors. And the biggest crap I get is from realtors on wholesaling. Like, everyone's so up in arms about how wholesaling should be illegal. Like, what are you even talking about? Like, are you insane? Every industry has a wholesaler. Every single industry on the planet has a wholesaler. Cars, food, everyone. This desk, these computers, these cameras that we're on, these microphones, this shirt, these pants, these shoes. Nobody is regulating those industries. Like, is everyone insane on the planet right now? It's like, why don't you just give them good, solid, like, all these other industries don't even have good training either.
Right.
So it's like, I'm perplexed with the fact that everybody wants to.
Well, come on, you're not perplexed. You know why? I mean, it's most people's largest investments of their entire lives. And why do these regulatory agencies even exist? Good question. Well, why does the real estate commission exist? They exist for one reason, is to protect the consumer. So if multiple people, if at this point scores of people are complaining probably about the bad apple, the bad moral wholesaler, if multiple people are complaining, then the real estate commission and ultimately the people at your governor's office in each state.
I mean, we are talking about all things that I don't believe in these days.
Well, you're acting like you don't understand why. I don't agree with it. You don't have to agree with it, but I understand why.
It's trash. So the real estate commission, all this stuff. So they are primarily realtors that are protecting themselves. So let's look at the USDA. You want to, like, if we get into this stuff?
No, I don't even know. I'm not. I can't talk about that. I'm not intelligent about that.
All the labels on our food, like, we're being completely lied to all around the world.
Don't even get me started.
Everything. And so what I'm saying is, we don't need more regulations. We need to just educate the marketplace. Why don't we just educate the homeowners what a wholesaler is instead of try to get rid of them? That's to me, like, the answer. And we're getting into, like, very philosophical conversations around this.
No, but you hit the nail on the head. It's the realtors who are seeing their commissions dwindle down because you got people in a lot of cases are brokering without a license, especially start bringing up novations. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that at all. That is absolutely brokering without a license. No doubt about it. So just get a license. Who cares?
Well, I agree, get a license, but then, okay, does that solve things? Like,
It should.
to get a
It should
license,
mostly solve things.
$100 and a few questions on a virtual thing, and I took a test and I got a license. I can tell you what, 90% of the realtors with licenses have no idea what the hell they're doing.
I'm with you.
And they're horrible. Like, they don't understand investors at all, period.
Guys, we found Bill's hot button.
Well, my hot button is like regulations, like overall regulating an industry, because instead of educating. And because the realtors are not educated.
Well, how do you educate a whole entire country? How do you, like, a whole entire...
a little bit at a time.
Okay.
Like, seriously, it drives me insane. Because, look, I'm in the food world too. Like, I just got, before we did this, I just unpacked a trailer with 8 cows, all packaged out in beef for my farm. We do beef boxes every single month. And I mean, even the organic trademark is such a joke.
Right, it is.
There's actually like 300 herbicides and pesticides you can spray on food and they can label organic. And the farmer has to pay for that. And the farmer does, and so they brainwashed an entire world. So how do they brainwash the world? With regulations. Mm-hmm. Like, we've educated the whole world that organic is better than non-organic in the grocery store, which it's better, but there's 100 times better directly from the farm that doesn't spray anything on their food. And that's big government trying to control the narrative, which I also believe is happening in the real estate world.
It's happening in every industry.
Yeah, but wholesaling is not the problem. The problem is, and it's not like more regulations and more requirements and more. And I agree, it's a big investment. It's a big investment, which is why the consumer should educate themselves on it, and they should ask more questions. And we shouldn't be. I mean, a realtor can rip people off too. It's happened a lot of times.
No doubt about it.
I've had to unravel some of that mess. Yeah, wholesaling is definitely a trigger point for me because I train very ethical and moral wholesalers. Like, there's no question that when you come in that you can wholesale a deal and be upfront with the people. Like, you don't think they know we're making money? Of course they know we're making money.
I've never lost. I've done almost 500. I haven't done as many as you have. I started in 2012. From about 2015 on, because I was taught that the seller can't know anything. You're the buyer. They have to. When I really learned how to do it the right way in around 2015, I was always telling the buyer exactly the process. Here's what's happening. I'm not going to be buying the house. Someone else can be buying the house. Not always disclosing the profit. Don't know that I always needed to do that, but I never lost a single deal because I was honest with the seller.
Yeah. Not
a single deal. Ever.
Yeah. If I was going to flip your house, so I'm going to buy it and flip it, and I make $50,000, like, you're going to have a problem with that? Of course not. No. So if somebody else is going to flip the house and they make 30 and I make 20 selling it to them, what does it matter? Like, it doesn't, if you get the price and we solve the problem, that's what matters. And that's it.
I'm with you.
And everybody knows they can make more. Like, everyone has sold something for less than it's worth. Everyone, whether it's a car, a boat, your kids' clothes when they're babies and you gave it away to
football tickets,
Goodwill, everything. Yeah. Like, you sold something for less than it's worth. It's the same thing. Like, they know that they're giving up some of the equity for ease and speed of transaction. It's a swap. Yeah. And every industry has a middleman wholesaler. Every industry. It's needed in the industry. Like, it is absolutely needed. They create inventory. Like, flippers, landlords, like, who's going to provide the inventory for people that don't want to spend money on marketing? And really great wholesalers they are at risk. Like, they are putting up a lot of money or a lot of time to find these properties. Like, they're not, they have actual, like, equitable interest in this. So, like, to say that they don't have equitable interest in things, it's like, I spent $20,000 to find this deal. Realtor, how much money did you spend to find your contract that you have? So
that's a lot of money.
I try not to spend 20 on a deal, but sometimes it is, man. Like, I'd say on average, we're spending $5,000 to $10,000 to get a contract.
What percentage of your time is I'm actively doing real estate and I'm actively trying to grow 7-figure flipping?
There's a lot of other things I do besides those two these days.
I'm just talking about those two.
Yeah, it's almost no time. Like, active real estate, I'm primarily raising money for 3 different companies. So I have a company up in Kentucky where we buy houses and we sell them on owner financing. So I raise money. I'm the money partner in that deal with me and Nate Johnson, my old COO. And so he does the operational side and I raise the capital. And then I raise money for apartments and storage and things like that. So our commercial business. And then I occasionally raise money for our real estate company, Blackjack Real Estate. But I own a minority share of that. I have a partner that runs that business. So our active wholesaling and flipping business are me and Adam Whitney. And so he runs that business day to day. So we do probably 50 or 60 deals a year now. Yeah, but I don't really do much. Somebody sent me a lead on this house that I bought yesterday. So I don't do a lot of single family houses personally anymore, but it seemed to be a good deal. So I can't say no to good deals like that. I can't say no to any deal. You give me a deal, I have to say yes to it. So it's hard. Yeah. If I can make money, I like deals. I like doing deals. And then 7-figure flipping, I'd probably spend, I don't know. I make ads. I do events. I'm kind of like the person who is the face of the company in member attraction. Member attraction. So I do like challenges and events and things like that. And I'll go on podcasts and speak and do stuff like that.
Are you the sole owner of 7?
No, I have some minority owners. I have like some, I have like a board of directors that owns a small piece of it, but I own the majority for sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What direction is it headed? Are you, going back to what you were saying earlier, are you trying to make it a Keller Williams type of brand? Do you feel like it can be the end all be all for mastermind groups in the real estate investing space?
Mastermind group, the mastermind term is interesting, like old term, right?
It is interesting.
Yeah, old term.
Do you like it?
So it's way more mainstream now than it was when I joined. I didn't even know what that was. Right. And so it's gotten more popular. I don't know that there's another term that I would replace it with. I don't know that I hate it or love it, but now it's kind of like, oh, what mastermind group are you in? And they're like trading and moving around these things a little bit. Like, I think that's a problem. But the grass is always greener on the other side, I feel like. So I've had people who have like left our group and gone somewhere else. And then it's kind of like they want to come back, but they feel like they probably aren't supposed to or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Do you feel like you this thing can be the thing?
I think we can be a lot bigger than we are. And I don't want to lose the impact to grow the size. I also am raising a lot of money for this TV show that we're doing.
Remind me to come back to that.
Yeah, for sure. And so that I think is going to be, it could potentially be the lever gets me and the company more well known. That's it. It's you either got to spend money, we got to hit something big. We got to become more of a household name and understand what that is. So, because that's hard. Like that. I've been branding, awareness, that kind of stuff has been my focus for the past 6 years since I owned the company. I didn't have to do any marketing before 2019. Justin did everything. He was the face. He was the podcast. He was the marketing arm. He was running the ads. It was his ads. It was everything. I was behind the scenes. I'm probably the best number 2 guy on the planet. That's the challenge that I'm having right now is I'm not the best number 1 guy on the planet. And so I'm the visionary of the company. And I think the reason why it's kind of stuck where it is because of me. And you can't hire the face and the visionary and the story of the company. You can't just bring somebody in to be the dancing monkey on stage, and not lose the fabric of what you're trying to build. So that's the challenge that I'm in right now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely not like the best front man. It's not my natural tendency. I'd rather be in a spreadsheet in a cave somewhere, hammering out numbers and data.
I don't usually prep for interviews. I prepped a little bit for this one, and I was just being honest, I was a little disappointed to go to the podcast and not hear your voice.
Our show now. Yeah. So I've been doing like less and less of that because I've been focusing on doing more like other like challenges, master classes, events, things like that is where my focus has been, ads and things. So yeah, that's been the challenge. Yeah. Is the podcast still a big means of customer attraction?
Is it?
Not as much as it has been. I don't know if that's a mistake, but in 2019, I went all in on the podcast. I went all in on the event, the live event, and that was my main focus. That was it. And talking to my email list. So now I talk to the email list. I'm also like...
And that worked.
Yeah, well, so when I'm also slowly introducing other faces and other names because
of course
it's going to be really challenging to scale me. The TV show is taking a lot of time, effort, and energy. And I think it's probably a much bigger platform than we'll ever have on the podcast. Yeah, to grow a podcast like a Joe Rogan type podcast I just didn't think was in the cards for us. So we intentionally made a pivot. Probably, it's been almost a year.
Yeah. How do you grow it like you want to and keep the people who are already in it, kind of keep them, I guess, excited, invigorated, and make sure that they're retained, but make sure they're actually getting what they're paying for?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that question is how I'm going to answer it. So number one, how do you grow a business like this while still maintaining the feel of a smaller community? That's not possible. It doesn't exist. So this has happened to me many times in the past. Like, I've made changes based on where the company needs to go, and I've had some like angry members, right? Because they're like, oh, this doesn't feel like it felt before. Right. I think what you have to realize when you're running a business is you have to do what's best for the business while understanding all the other factors at play. Because I'm not running a charity in this business. I do have we do have a foundation that has a nonprofit component that we give to, and we work with all of our members. But like, if you're losing money or not making money and you need to make a change, like, sometimes you're going to have to shake up the snow globe a little bit, and it's not going to feel good for the people that are inside of there. Wow. And so I'm sensitive to that, but I don't tell them how to run their business. And so that might seem a little direct, but I think the biggest thing is, like, the business is not me, right? The business has people, has employees, has team, has staff, has everything. And I've had to dip into my bank account multiple times to make payroll in the past, and not necessarily recently, but there's plenty of times where I've had to go through, we're in my pocket to run this thing, right? And so sometimes you have to do what's best for the business. And so that's one thing is I really, as far as like member retention, it's understanding that people who have been with you for a long time, they have like certain needs and expectations. And sometimes it gets out of whack with the direction that the company's going. And that couldn't be okay. Like, in order for you to change, there has to be something has to change, right? And so I try not to let the tail wag the dog when it comes to that stuff. And so the real question that I would ask myself is, can we grow the business size-wise, revenue-wise, net profit-wise, or whatever we want to do? Like, there's two things. You're either going to scale top line to increase bottom line, which means more people, or you're just going to be way more efficient inside the business, stay small, and increase your net margin. So there's lots of different ways to grow this business. I definitely believe that more people need what we have, and I'd love to get in front of more people and have more people have the opportunity to come in and experience what we do. And when we do that, and have done that in the past, people are like, I don't like this. Yeah. Like, I was the only one in my market that had access to the secret. And it's like, okay, well, are you really living in an abundant lifestyle, or are you really living scarcity and calling it abundance? And so, I mean, we used to have defined markets. We used to say only 2 people per market, or only 1 person per market in the group. And we had a time where it was only 25 people. We were like limited 7-figure flipping to 25 people. And then I remember Justin saying, oh, I'm actually I want to grow the business. And I included me, I felt I didn't like it. Didn't feel good. But then when more people came in, they brought new ideas. For sure. And they brought new strategies, and they brought new concepts, and I started doing better and making more money. And then more people from Pensacola started joining, and I was like, oh, this doesn't feel good. Like, they're going to take my deals. And it didn't happen. We did more deals and they did more deals, and we started doing deals together. And so, like, everything that you think, like, the people inside the community are going to have like massive limiting beliefs. And so it's my job to break the construct of what they believe and then prove it. So I think that's the challenge that everybody has to figure out. It's like, how do you do that without, I mean, people are going to leave and say that they don't like it because it doesn't feel the same. And like, dude, if you want the same, like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know, nothing stays the same. Like, everything changes. It's changing for good. Yeah. So let's figure out how to make it good and stop sweating all the negative stuff. Yeah. So I try to like reframe things to people inside the community and teach them that, coach them through it. But I would say the best thing a visionary can do, or an integrator, or whoever it is inside the business that's running it, is anticipate that and get ahead of it. So that's kind of some of the stuff I'll probably have to do. Are you a ClickFunnels guy? Yeah. More so than like high level? Yeah. I am. I'm currently Russell Brunson's CEO. I've been working for him for the last year. Right. Yeah. So I'm just curious. I wanted to ask you that before I I mean,
jumped in with that.
I can talk about either one. So I'm familiar and understand both.
Tell me about Russell and tell me about your relationship with him and how that began.
Yeah. So Justin was in Russell's world for years when I was a member of Seven Figure Flipping. So, and then when I was the COO, Russell came to speak at one of our events in like 2017. So I just met him briefly, and I didn't really like hang out with him, spend a few minutes with him, but really, the first time I seen him like perform on stage and do a presentation, a webinar, I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Wild.
It's insane.
It's so good.
And so then like I went to Funnel Hacking Live in 2018 with Justin. And then in 2019, I owned the company that was in 2019. It was February 2019 I went with Justin. And then in February 2020, I went to Funnel Hacking Live as the owner of Seven Figure Flipping, and I bought his coaching program, his 2CCX coaching program. And I tried to get Inner Circle, but was closed, like his mastermind of 100 people. And so joined the coaching program, was in his coaching program for a couple of years. I really just watched what they were doing so I could implement a lot of the stuff that I was doing inside my coaching program. That was really helpful, made me a ton of money. It's great. And then I joined his Inner Circle in probably like 4.5 years ago. And I was in his mastermind. It was $150,000 a year mastermind that I was in for the last 4 years. So, and it was a small group. It's like 15 of us. So I got to know Russell a little bit, but never really spent like a lot. Like I was in the program. It was mostly like all the other people and I became really good friends, and never really had a full conversation with Russell. He's an interesting character, brilliant guy, but we never really talked. Like I wasn't his friend. He had people that have been in his community way longer and probably had more of a friendly relationship with him. But I'd ask him a question from time to time. I would just take notes at all the events and just go implement like crazy. Sure. That's just my world is just like take it and go do it. So that was kind of my background with him. And then last year around this time, it was like August last year, he just like casually mentions, hey, when you become my CEO, then I'll do this.
And y'all were never really friendly before then?
Not really. I mean, friendly, like taking some pictures, talking a casual conversation, right? But we never did anything together.
That's pretty wild.
But it was for sure. Yeah, I was like, what? And then there in Arizona at this event, it just kind of, I found out that they were separating the software business from the info business because of valuation books, like that kind of stuff, just standing on its own. And then Russell was like running the whole info business by himself, had no help. And He's not an operator at all. He's just a marketer.
Wow.
Just straight up marketer. And so he was drowning. I think he was really struggling. His business partner passed away from a brain cancer. Cancer a few years before that. And so since then, I think he was going through some stuff and just having some challenges. So I looked at it, and I was filming the TV show at the time, and I had just hired a CEO for Seven Figure Flipping because I was going to be like nonstop 3 months filming this TV show. And I didn't know, I was like, I can't do the podcast. I can't do all this stuff. I need help. And Adam Whitney came in as the CEO of Seven Figure Flipping. And I felt like, I was like, all right, well, I'll check out this opportunity. And so I took the job. Like a month later, I did a bunch of research, like went up there for a couple of days, interviewed everybody, because I'm not going to play a game that I can't win. And so I was like, I got to see the rules of this game. I don't even understand what you're asking me to do.
CEO?
Yeah.
Currently?
Yeah. So we have about 80 employees.
How?
It's just, virtually. I was on a call right before this with the staff. You're great people. We got great people. We have really good people.
So much.
People. Yeah, I guess. He told me I could do it 2 hours a month. That's what. No, absolutely not. I work about 40, 50 hours a week, probably. Yeah, in that business for sure. That's a full-time job for sure. Yeah, it's fun though. I like doing it. It's been almost a year actually. It's been probably 10 or 11 months. Yeah.
I'm struggling to understand this.
If you have a system and you have great people, my job should not be that hard. There's actually a book called CEOs Are Lazy. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it's called. I take that to heart. I kind of do. Like, I really think that, I brought in $50,000 of revenue 2 days ago with a Facebook post directly to an event. So, and it'd probably be more. I'll probably bring in another 50 grand. So I'm bringing value. Like
his event.
Yeah, his event. I sold a couple tickets to some of my friends because
was that the post where you said, if you want to meet Russell?
Yeah. I got 5 spots.
I almost.
Well, come to the event. Why wouldn't you? We'll talk after. But it's like, it's not meeting
I'm
Russell.
a high level person though. I feel like I can do so much more. I kind of went away from ClickFunnels, so I feel like it's a little
I feel like that event
insulting.
has nothing to do with.
I feel like it's a little insulting though.
Well, so that's the challenge. That's what people think. So one of the big reasons why I love the fact that we have our own info business is there are people using. You think that we don't know that some of our highest level people are using Go High Level or any other software, like ClickFunnels used to be the only thing that you could use, and it's like they put funnels on the map and the software on the map. Now it's the same thing like I talked about with masterminds. Now there's 10 options. So people are going to explore their option. And Go High Level is VC backed. They're spending a crap load of money right now. They're buying tons of affiliates and other promoters and stuff like that. And so it's tough to win that game. And that's not the only competition though. Like the same thing when we're talking about wholesalers owning like 5% of the market, literally ClickFunnels and Go High Level and any of these other funnel businesses, they probably own 5 or 10% of the market. Like there's still a massive broad market of people out there that are still just building a website, that don't even know that these are options. So like, there's plenty, like they're not even in competition with each other. Everybody's putting them up against each other. It's like, it's might be 10% of the actual marketplace that is even knows what either one of those are. Right. So like the mom that wants to build a cookie business from her house needs ClickFunnels. For sure. You know, probably not Go High Level. It's like the user interface is miserable on it. Like it's so hard to use. I hate it when I go in there. Everything. Sure. Yeah, but the mom building the cookie business doesn't need everything. Right. She actually wants something super simple. Right. And she wants a $97 a month product is totally fine, you know? Totally. And so that, like the real problem is same. How do they become more well known outside of the info marketing bro business? Yeah. Which is really the argument that's happening, which is kind of a joke right now. Like that's not the problem. Like there's a much bigger market for everyone. And to like be like, oh, I can't be around Russell because I use Go High Level. And I'm not saying just you, like I hear this a lot. It's like, can I come to the event if I use Go High Level? I'm like, of course. Are you joking? We're not even going to talk about where you host all this stuff. Like the strategy, the marketing, the content, the delivery, like it's not on ClickFunnels. Like it's so everything. So it's like if people would realize that that's not the problem, they could actually open their mind up to what they're capable of doing. And he's hands down like the most brilliant marketer that I've ever met in person. And to be able to work side by side with him and talk to him and now call him a friend. And like, we talk a lot. Right. You know? Obviously. Not as much as people think, you know, it's like me and Adam Whitney don't talk. We'd probably talk more now that he's involved in 7-figure flipping. When he was running blackjack for 3 years, we might talk like once every couple of weeks. Yeah. So, and me and Russell don't talk a lot. And so.
And thank you for indulging.
Yeah, totally.
Just interested in that. And I want to, we've gone pretty long here, but I do want to kind of circle back and talk about the TV show. I know just a tiny bit. Tell me, it's been going on. You've had this in the works for a year?
We've been working on this for 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
What is it and when will it, when can we actually?
It's called Kids Who Flip. So it's kids flipping houses. Yeah. Right. So we have 3 families that we followed around for season 1 in Washington State and down in Tampa, Florida.
These aren't your kids.
Not my kids. No, but they're kids inside of our community. So they were raised. Your kids. No, they're raised inside 7-figure flipping. My kids are 11. When I filmed the show, my son was 10. They were 10, 8, and 7. And so, yeah, my kids aren't flipping houses just yet. So, and when they're ready, they will. Like right now, we're printing 3D toys and selling them at the farmers market for my son's business. Cool. So pretty cool. Yeah, I've spent all week 3D printing toys. So we got some really cool stuff.
In addition to being CEO here, we're running 7-figure flipping, running, got real estate businesses, raising money.
We have a consulting and software business too. So 2 doors down is a consulting business where we help 5 or 6 other digital info product businesses scale their offerings. So that's really cool. I have 2 guys.
No wonder you're not on the podcast anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. But like some of the biggest challenges in webinars that you see out there were the back end engine of that. So showing them strategies and stuff. We did one last week we had about 1,100 people in there, did almost $1 million in sales and really cool stuff for a big brand real estate guy. Anyway, TV show, Kids Who Flip. It's like my favorite thing. It's so cool. It's
what's so cool about it?
The kids, man. When you tell them to do something, they just do it.
How old are these kids?
Yeah, 13 to 18. So under 18 is the thing. And so season 1 is done. It's filmed. It's edited. It's going to come on TV on October 1st. So it'll be on
where
It'll be on, so it's a Discovery Network and a Warner. So it's a Destination America is the cable channel it'll be on. So if you have cable, you can watch it on Destination America. There's like 25 million households that have that channel that streams to, or it's like, that's like live broadcast TV.
Right.
And so that's at 8:00 Eastern time on Wednesday nights, midnight Eastern time on Wednesday nights, which is 9:00 Pacific. I think it's 9 Pacific that it's on. It might be 8 Pacific. I might be off. And then Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, it's on that channel. Live. So every week it'll be on live for 13 weeks. And then it'll be on Amazon, Hulu, HGTV, Discovery, all the Discovery Go apps have it. Amazon, Hulu, like Roku, Sling, like all those things, all the streaming networks after that.
And so this is a project that is this your concept?
Yeah. Well, I would say it's my concept. It's my partner, Ryan Whitefield. So Ryan's son, Ollie, was a big part of the show. Ryan has a background in some TV. He owns a portion of like the MMA awards and stuff like that. So he was in my mastermind, still is. And so he brought the idea to me. He said, I want you to be the host. Me and him partnered. We own the show. So we didn't like sell the show. So a lot of people or somebody come to me and say, will you be the host of a show? And then they control it. And so we control the content, we control the structure. And we got a slot, a 15-month slot. This TV broker, this TV wholesaler,
right?
Wholesale TV,
right?
Too.
You keep taking jabs at me.
Well, you're the only one here.
Messenger.
You're the only one here.
I was the messenger.
You're the only one here.
The messenger.
You're the only one here. So the TV wholesale, like a TV, broker came and they absolutely love it, and they own like a ton of stuff, like some of the biggest shows.
Yeah. And
they were like, this is an original concept that we haven't seen before. It's going to be huge. And so now we're filming 3 spinoffs. Right now, we're almost done the first spinoff, which is Kids Who Flip with Ollie. They're doing $1 million house down in Tampa. In about a month, we're going to come here to my farm and we're going to do a challenge edition. So like 2 teams of kids that go head to head on 2 different houses that we're going to have them renovate. And then we're going to do an entrepreneur edition, where it's not houses and real estate. It's like we have my Teenage Tycoon program, which is our family kids program, and so we have a lot of kids in there that are doing really cool stuff that we're gonna talk about their businesses, and then season 2. So I got to raise $7 million to film all this.
Bill, I was just about to say, this is a lot of money. Like when you're talking about all the stuff that you're doing, you're raising money and giving them equity, I'm assuming.
Yeah, the best part about Kids Who Flip money raise is a 4-to-1 write-off. So they put $100,000 in and get $400,000 off on their taxes, which is nuts. $400,000 write-off. So whatever tax bracket you're in, you do the math.
That's pretty bananas.
Yeah, Section 181 deduction. I've spent the last 2 years studying this. This is why like people are investing in all these movies that don't make money. It's really cool. It's really cool structure. But we can actually make money. So we have a kind of mapped out and structured. So we own all the TV's commercial slots. There's brand placements. There's product placements. Like, having these conversations with like DeWalt and Makita, and windows, doors, roofs, like trucks, watches, clothes, like all the stuff that I like watches and cars and trucks. Like I'm reaching out to them going, hey, send me a really nice Rolex and I'll wear it on the show. So stuff, just all kinds of different things that are involved in this.
That's a great trick. Gosh, I got to do that.
Yeah.
For my next one.
Yeah.
This is the last thing I want to ask you. How do you do all this? And you still have a family, still have children, still do vacations. It seems like just from this conversation, you've got a lot going on.
Yeah.
You also have a family. How do you attempt to balance all that?
Yeah, prioritize and execute.
Yeah.
So I think a big part is like setting the right expectations. Like when Russell and I were talking about what I can and can't do, I feel like I set the expectations. He could probably find somebody that would live in Boise and work, 50 hours a week in the office nonstop and have sole focus on this. And so I think, setting the right expectations and being very direct and honest and open about how things are going. And then just figuring out, like really thinking about what's the biggest bang for the buck? How do you get 40 hours of stuff done in 10 hours? Like it's possible. It's totally possible. I mean, I leverage a lot of AI, people, human beings. I mean, I have staff here that's helping me schedule this and run my calendar and respond. Every email that's coming in right now is being read. Like I don't read them. She usually has my phone. I have my phone. Hopefully there's not a big problem on it, but I hate my phone. I don't want my phone. And so I just shut everything down and just get the things done that need to get done.
That takes a lot of discipline to do that. Like my ADD brain would not allow that to happen.
Well, I mean, I have great people. Like if you look at, so we have the farm, we have info business, I have Russell's business, right? And Russell's business is pretty much like me. So that's like me, it's time and money, right? But I have a great team. Like I have a great leadership team and staff that I have really focused on pouring into them, because then I don't know all 80 people. Like the CEO of Amazon doesn't know that. Of course. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of people they got, but I mean, you got to know you're like top 6 or 8, that's it. Like you got your SEAL team. There's like 6 people. That's about it. Every human being can manage about 6 people. And so my farm has like 1 person, right? And she runs the whole thing. And then Adam Whitney runs 7-figure flipping right now. If I need something, I talk to him, and the houses in Kentucky, Nate, that's it. But him and I trust him to run the whole show. Like when we need money, he calls me up. Jason and Chad, they run the apartment buildings. Like I try to find really great people and align myself with them. Yeah. People that I trust that they can just make the decision. It doesn't have to go through me. Right. But it's not easy. Like I am on my 8th or 9th assistant right now. So that'll be a story for the next show. But I mean, sometimes there's certain things that I just cannot figure out. And I have COOs, like leadership team members, all great. The personal / executive assistant is like the hardest job on the planet in my life.
Is that their decision or your decision?
Sometimes both. Yeah. Sometimes it depends. Like I've tried different personality profiles. I think the main thing that I've realized is if you're going to run alongside of me, like, I mean, I've tried really high level, high paid people. I've tried to train from within. I've tried to find a friend that knows me really well. I've tried lots of stuff. And so I think my expectations are too high, and I'm rolling like 3 jobs into one. Like I can spin 1,000 plates, and I'm like, it's not that hard to spin 5, you know? I've tried to roll like lots of like high level, low level jobs into one versus like splitting them out into multiple people. So I think I did a good job on this one that I have right now. I think Jessica's gonna do great. Yeah. But it's because I still kept the high level tasks. I haven't delegated that stuff. Right. Delegation is really important. Yeah. How to do what you do, delegate stuff and trust and I prioritize and manage your calendar. Proper expectations so people know because I don't have a lot of time. Yeah. But I also am not going. I'm pretty much here 10 to 5. Yeah. So I'm not. I used to take a Friday off and work at the farm every Friday, and since Russell's last year, I work Friday now. But I like doing what I'm doing.
Don't have a lot of time, but he made a couple of hours for me to come bug him up here in Tennessee. Bill, thank you so much for your time. I enjoyed the conversation.
Good.
Hopefully you got a good inside glimpse into this man's life just a little bit. And so thank you again, Bill. Thanks so much for listening to today's show. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you got any value today, please take 30 seconds and leave us a quick review. To get connected with me or to become a part of the Board Advisors community, go to boamastermind.com. That's boamastermind.com. We'll see you guys on the next one.